Here I am outside. The sun's about to set here pretty soon in about an hour. I think it's 5:40 or something like that here. The sun normally goes down about 5:60, and I'm getting bit by a few mosquitoes. But here I am in beautiful Hawaii in Honolulu. I'm not too far from Waikiki. I'm actually right across the street from Ala Moana Mall. Um, all this may not sound familiar to you, or it may be familiar to you if you've been here, but I'm just giving kilo like big area things that I'm buying. But anyways, I moved here. Let's say my allergies are killing me because I'm outside. I moved here on January 10th is when I actually got here. I made up my decision to move here like December 10th, December 12th, something like that. Um, why did I move here? Well, in a nutshell, like shit just wasn't going good where I was at, and I don't do too well with the winters. So I had so much going on. Last year, I embarked on starting a business. I really stepped out. Um, I have a background in financing and in mortgage lending, so I was going to be a mortgage loan originator. I stepped out there. I started doing, marketing, networking. I like hit it hard, right, for the first like 6 months. Then the savings dried up, and I had to get some money somehow. So I started to drive for Lyft and work overnight. I was doing that, and in between that, I was going out to events, networking, really trying to make it happen, but it was taking a little longer because a lot of my time was being allocated to other things just so that I can make ends meet. So I kept doing that, I kept doing that. Everything seemed to be picking up, and then boom, I met this guy. And he was so sweet. We'll call him JR1. JR1 was so amazing. And he was from the South, so he was Southern, and he had, the Southern charm that I liked about him because I spent most of my childhood in the South. I lived there until I was. And so there's just a way that Southern men move and the way they carry themselves and the love that they have for Black women and the pride that they have in themselves that I had just missed living in Colorado. Like, I just missed it. And out there just don't move like that. Them or said like there's nothing wrong with them. It's just like there's no real cultural connection there in Denver. Like you can't really feel the Black presence. Like you have to go look for it. If you just look on the surface, like if you just go to like the everyday bars like downtown, you won't find it. If you are looking for something that's really exclusive to Black people, it's like hard to find. Um, there's only a few places, or like actually like a group of people who like are doing their best to make spaces for Black people and Black creators. I was lucky enough towards the end to find that little niche, and so I was able to go to all these different events. That poetry events, open mics, pain sips, some really cool things and artsy things that people well, it was all stimulated and circled around Black Pride and Black Pride and Black connections. Hello, and so I can't see what your name is right now. I think it says Jose. So hello. Ooh, did I zoom in? I didn't mean to. So then I'm doing all these paint tips and things like that, and that was good. But there's just something that Southern Black men have that you don't get anywhere else. So when I met this man, and he was from the South, and he was so charming, and he was just so handsome and so strong, and there was a certain familiarity there. Like he was familiar to me. Like he was like some of my childhood homeboys. He was like, some of my family. So he just reminded me of home, and I enjoyed that about him. So when I found him, I really latched on to him. And I had this thing where For some reason, like when I turned 27, I don't know why, I was feeling so anxious. Like, oh my God, like I have to have a baby. Like, it needs to happen like this year or like next year. Like, I need to have a baby. And I don't know why I was feeling that way. That's just how I was feeling. So when I met this guy and he felt like home, I just latched onto him. And I was like, okay, like this is going to happen with this guy here. Like, no matter what, I'm going to. And we're going to make this happen, me and you. And we're going to have this. And I was like, okay, make the right matter what you throw at. I'm going to figure out a way to like, he's in divorce. Okay. But then, he the paperwork and lets me call the courthouse and speak to the court administrator to find out exactly what the status was of their divorce. And their divorce proceedings were final. And the case was scheduled to be closed on the night. So he was officially going to be, a single, like June 9th when we started dating. So I was okay. I was like, all right. Like, you show me paperwork, like, okay, this is one thing, but I can get past this, right? So then, of course, like he still shares a place with his ex-wife. So as soon as it ends, he's like, all right. She's like, well, okay, he has to get out. I'm like, okay, great, you can come live with me. Boom, that solves that. Easy, done. Come live with me. Like, you're working, I'm working, my cousin's working. Like, we can all make this work. He gets there, and it's working. The first month, it's like, here you go. Here's half of the rent. Here's some portion of the rent. Here's some extra gas money. Like, here's everything. Everything's good, but I'm gonna need some rides to work. I'm like, okay, like I got you. I can, give you rides to work. But when I'm giving him rides, I'm not doing lifts like I should be. And when I'm not doing lifts, like I'm dipping into the money and my reserve money. But I'm like, it's okay because he's here and he can make up for that little bit that I slack, for that little extra for me not doing lift as much. So then the next month comes around and it's, oh well, I'll be able to have it, but it's gonna take me some time. I'm like, okay, I won't have it on the first. I have to have it after that. I'm like, okay, that's no problem. Just make sure you get it to me by this date. Because if you don't, there's a late fee, and then we accrue fees, and then that's extra money on top of what we got. And he's like, okay, no, he's like, I got you. We go do that. Okay. So then the day comes, nothing. The next day comes, nothing. Now I'm like, yo, like, what's up? You told me that you have this and now you don't, and now we're accruing all these fees and shit's getting out of control. He's like, oh, okay, well, I just don't think it's fair. I don't think I should have to pay any of this or pay any extra because I gave you for last month. And I was like, okay, but you stayed here pretty much all last month, so that went for last month. It's a new month. But like I understand, like if you don't have it, like just say something. But you knew you wasn't gonna have it 2 weeks ago. You should have said something then, and then I would be able to. Okay, long story short, skipping all through all that, I ended up having to move out of my apartment, forfeit my lease, and so now I'm just like living day to day, day to day. Like, all right, I work for a hotel, so I get discounted rooms. I'm just gonna stay in hotels for as long as I can. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going from place to place to place. Hello. So cute. You see the doggy? It's so cute. Staying from place to place, going wherever I can, all over. Just looking and looking and looking and trying to find an apartment that I can afford. If you live in Denver, you know that the rental rate is going up. I'm with him, and I'm thinking, like, back in August, like, we should just move. Like, I know of a place in Hawaii that, is pretty affordable. We could probably move into there. I'm sure we can both find jobs there. It won't be too hard as long as you just buckle down and get to looking. We should just do that. He's like, no, we should stay. We should wait a little bit. Let me stack some bread up and then we'll go. I'll make sure to pay you back because he got paid weekly. So then it was like, oh, I can pay for the rooms a week at a time. So you just save some of the money. And then, once we get a certain amount, we'll just go. Be good. It's like, all right, cool. That never happened. I went, all my money was gone. And it was like none of that happened. And that's when I just realized, this relationship isn't working for me. So I ended it. And now I'm like floating around, floating around, floating around. And the winter time comes. And my therapist told me years ago, Talisa, you should probably move from Colorado. I don't think the winter times are good for you. See, I have what's called SABS, and it's a real thing. And my therapist let me know that, every winter it would get worse for me, and that I may even consider taking prescription drugs in the wintertime, or maybe buying like a sun lamp and, constantly just standing in front of a sun lamp to try to help offset the lack of vitamin D that I was getting from the sun being so far away. So I tried to like strong will it out because, what most people don't understand about mental health issues is that most people who have them really try to pretend like they don't, or like really try to say, like, with goodwill and perseverance and a positive attitude, like, I can get over this. And what you're finding is like every single day is a constant struggle. Like every day is a fight with yourself to even do anything. Like fighting to get up, fighting to get out, fighting to do something. Like every day it's a real struggle to even do anything. And the only time you're doing it is when you're like tapping into some type of willpower, some type of positivity to still get up out of bed. But the whole day you're miserable. It's like you're walking around in like a fog or like a haze. You can't see clearly and you can't make clear decisions. And I'm oversensitive, I'm over emotional, like I'm reactive to everything, and then I'm not reactive. Like I'll just zone out and will just zone out and keep to myself. Won't talk to anybody, and like I'm a nerd at heart, so this is when you'll find me binge watching a lot of like anime. Like I'll be in the house binge watching, show after show, episode after episode, like just watching wrapped up in bed, not getting out of bed. Maybe if I do get out of bed, because sometimes you just can't lay down anymore. You just got to get up and go sit on the couch. And then, just kind of sit there and watch shows. That's what all I was doing. And I was just so unhappy. No matter what I did, I was unhappy. And I was like, you know what? I'm finally accepting that I have this thing. That I've been trying to like pretend that it's not a big deal and I can just get over it and I can just push my way through. And I just had to accept, like, no, I can't. Like, no, I can't. I sorry I keep twitching. Like, there's a lot of mosquitoes around right now. It's been raining a lot. So I'm just accepting, like, no, I can't. I can't strong way my will. I can't willpower my way through this thing. Every year it is getting worse, like she said, and I just need the sun. I just am happy in the summertime. I'm happy when the sun is out, and so it was either Hawaii or Florida. I was born here on the island of Hawaii, in Hawaii, not of Hawaii, because Hawaii is the big island. I'm on Oahu. I was born in Pearl City, and so I'm here in Hawaii. And I really thought about this before I come. I didn't just, oh, I'm going out there, because it was here in Florida, and I was gonna move back to my hometown, Pensacola or Orlando. I was really thinking about doing that. It's sunny there a lot of times, and I have family in Florida. It's closer to the mainland, so my son's closer. I can just drive up to him, opposed to having to save for a flight to him. So I thought about all of that before I came. But when I got here, or before I got here, I put out my resume in both places. And when I was looking in Florida, but I was like barely getting any like hits on my resume. I was barely getting any calls back, but I was getting a lot of calls back from jobs here in Hawaii. So I was like, okay, like I can see that, they are hungry for employment and they're looking for people who have a strong resume and a good background and things. And my resume is very impressive. So I was like, okay, no wonder they're getting callbacks because my resume is pretty good. The boobs are trying to escape this dress. So I'm like, all right, Hawaii it is. I was looking online for a cheap ticket. I found one for $185. Bought it on the spot. Boom. And then just waited. So that was January 10th. How I found the ticket was I just Googled from Denver to Honolulu one way on Gmail, and Gmail bought it on not Gmail but on Google, and Google bought me like the best deals. I mean, I went to Priceline, I went to all kinds of, I went to all the big name ones, and then I knew of someone that some friends told me about, from other countries. So I actually looked for the cheaper ticket, and Google brought me the cheapest ticket at 185 on January 10th. And I think it's because Google is just pulling all the numbers from all of the travel agencies that are on Google. They just pull the numbers from there and post the best price, which I think is dope. Good on you, Google. Good on you. Because they did every single time. And to this day, when I look for tickets for people, if I Google it first, I find the best deals on Google. It's crazy. So that is how I made my decision to come to Hawaii, and that's why I came. Since I got here, you know what? I've been having a ball. Like I've been having too much fun. Like I've had to slow down and actually focus. So when I got here, I stayed at a hotel. But since I was leaving my hotel job, I knew that my hotel benefits would stop. So then I went ahead and booked a bed at a hostel. I was at the Beachside Hostel in Waikiki. So but the price is good and it is a pretty decent place. The girls' dorms are way nice. So if you can get in the female one, I would do that because the mixed ones, the co-ed ones, could be a little dirty or just dated. But the female dorms tend to be nicer and more clean, which is so surprising. So surprising that, a bunch of women are super clean. When normally guys are, well, I don't know. Here in most of my experiences, the guys' room would smell but be a little neater. And the guy's bathroom would be cleaner. And then the girl's bathroom would be dirty. There'd be hair or makeup and clothes everywhere. But for the most part, most of the girls have been really clean. And most of them have been really friendly. I've met some awesome people, some awesome women. Really, inspiring and beautiful and artistic women, from all over. Met this beautiful Vietnamese woman from Canada, beautiful artist, such a sweet and joyful person, and really creative, and a tattoo artist, badass tattoo artist. This tiny little woman doing these huge pieces on these huge men, and they're perfect. She is so beautiful and so inspiring, such a kind soul. And then another woman from Canada who's also just gorgeous and a fun spirit and a fun life. And a lot of them are really young. She's really young. She's about 21, and well, she turned 21 here. Um, and she just had a good time. Um, she was really outgoing and really fun. And, she told me that she feared dying. And so she was making sure to live her life as much as she wanted because she was old, not dying. She wanted to die young because she had a fear of getting old. And I just thought that was so profound. To hear someone say that, never heard anyone admit that to themselves. Um, but she did. And then I met a woman from France and from Australia. I met two guys from the UK who are awesome. I met some really awesome Japanese guys. I met some really awesome Korean guy and an awesome girl from Korea. And all of them super friendly, all of them super warm and welcoming. And it just changed my whole perspective of what the world would be like to now have all these friends in these various countries who are come here, come visit me, come stay with me. Let me show you my country. Let me show you my neighborhood. Let me share my culture with you. It's been a really, really great experience. So I have to get off here because my phone's about to die. Of course, going live is like a lot of my battery, but I did want to just touch bases and do that. I'm going to be back with part 2 because I realized I rambled on and on and on about my ex. But now I'm going to get to the point about Hawaii. So